My today's topic of discussion is learning disability. So basically, in today's session, we will see how this learning disability term emerged, various definitions related to it, there are a lot of definitions which are related to learning disability. What is learning disability? We will understand it in a very simple language. Various types of learning disability, just a gist of it, not in detail. And in the end, we will have a look at 2 case studies, and we will try to analyze that which kind of learning disability falls under this case studies. But before beginning my session, let's have some warm-up activity. Okay, just a fun-filled activity. Okay, so for that, okay, you need a paper and a pen. Just grab a paper and a pen. Put it on your forehead. Just place it on your forehead here like this. And okay, close your eyes and write your name on it. Okay, after you finish, just have a look at it. Okay, mine is very horrible, very clumsy. This is what I have written. So for you also it would be something like that. Some challenge would definitely be there. Either you must have written the word in reversals, a word in the backward way. Some letters may be reversals. See, if you see carefully, my D and B I have written in reversals. Or maybe if that is easy for you, you must have faced a challenge in balancing the pen and paper, holding it properly on your forehead and writing. But for you all, this is just a fun activity, but this is a kind of challenge that the student typically with learning difficulties face every day. So imagine the struggle or the performance pressures they have, and they have to face it each and every day. So first in our session we'll speak about historical development in understanding disability. How this word disability emerged, from where it came. Okay, so in early 1960s, the difficulties that many children were having with learning began to attract serious attention. Okay, so since there was increasing number of children who were not able to cope up with their regular schoolwork, they were not able to read, write, spell out certain words according to the common school methods. This was observed, and then many educators and professionals, they began to take these learning difficulties quite seriously. So on April 6, 1963, Dr. Samuel Girk addressed a gathering of anxious parents in Chicago, at which he first used the term learning disability to describe these children. Okay, and what discussion happened in this meeting? He mentioned that this meeting is not concerned with children who have sensory handicaps. That means the children whose sense organs are not working properly, like the eye, the ear, the speaking language. Okay, they may be deaf, they may be blind, but this meeting primarily concerns the students who can see and hear and who do not have marked intellectual deficit. That means that IQ is also quite okay, such kind of students. But these students show a slight deviation in behavior and in psychological development to such an extent that they are unable to adjust in home or to learn by ordinary school methods. So these children, they are not deaf or blind. Their IQ is also normal, but they have certain deviations in their behavior when it comes to learning according to the normal or ordinary school methods. After this meeting happened, there were a lot of terms associated with learning disability. The learning disability term was not there only. So people started labeling it as brain damage, brain dysfunction, aphasia, that means the child is not able to speak. Initially when the child is born, he is able to speak, but later on, because of some accident or because of some brain damage, the child is not able to speak. So this kind of terms became associated with these difficulties. While this controversy was going on, Okay, the Association of Children with Learning Disability was established, and then they recommended the term learning disability. The term learning disability was formally accepted, and the organization called as Association for Learning with Children Disability was started to provide services for individuals of all ages. Okay. Next, the National Advisory Committee on Handicapped Children also passed an act in 1969 which defined learning problems in such a way that children with special learning disability exhibit a disorder in one or more of basic psychological process. They have some challenges in basic psychological process. This psychological process is required where for spoken or written language. It can also manifest in listening, thinking, talking, reading, writing, spelling, or arithmetic. But this does not include learning problems which are due to visual, hearing, or motor handicaps. That means if a child is blind, okay, if a child is deaf, or if the child is physically handicapped. Okay, this learning disability category does not include such kind of students. All students who have mental illness, mental retardation, or emotional disturbance. Now, when this definition was passed on, there were a lot of controversies and discrepancies evolved. Okay, the first was achievement and intelligence difference. Now, the learning disabled child showed difference in intelligence and achievement. That means this child is not able to achieve as much as is needed by the other children of his same chronological age. There is a difference in his achievement and compared with the children of same chronological age. Okay, if the intelligence is measured by standard intelligence test. Okay. Second is ruling out other handicaps. This definition indicated that, okay, it was clearly mentioned that they do not include students who have brain dysfunction or mental illness. But it was observed that learning disability is associated with certain kind of other issues or other difficulties. Like learning disability can be caused due to malnourishment or because of certain lack of intelligence or emotional disturbance. Okay, so ruling out other handicap was not correct. The third is central nervous dysfunction and learning disability. The definition did not mention that learning disability or the learning difficulties are caused due to some malfunctioning in brain function. Okay, there is certain dysfunction of brain. Okay, they never mentioned this in their definition. Okay, so finally, in 1977, the US Office of Education brought out final definition which is currently in operation within the United States. Okay, what this definition says is, learning disability means a disorder in one or more basic psychological process involved in using language spoken or written, which may manifest itself in imperfect ability to listen, think, speak, read, write, spell, or mathematical calculation. The first part is same as it was in the previous definition. Okay, but they also included that the term includes such conditions as perceptual handicaps, the students who are not able to interpret, brain injury, minimal brain dysfunction, dyslexia, okay, problems in reading, and developmental aphasia. Okay, as I said, aphasia means not able to speak. Okay, the term does not include children who have learning problems which primarily the result of visual, hearing, or motor handicaps, of mental retardation, emotional disturbance, environmental, cultural, or economic disadvantage. So under this learning disability category, the students who will fall under this, the students who have difficulties in thinking, speaking, reading, writing, or calculations, the students who are having difficulties to interpret things like reasoning skills, analytical skills, minimal brain dysfunction, little mental illness is accepted, okay, dyslexia and developmental aphasia. But even this US federal also said that this term does not include children who have visual or auditory handicaps, or even physical handicaps, or even a proper mental illness, emotional illness, environmental, even we have financially low children, they do not fall under this category. Okay, now this definition was very extensive and very difficult to remember. So what next step was that the National Joint Committee, to make it very easy to understand, okay, they issued an alternative definition. So what it is? The learning disability is a general term that refers to heterogeneous group of disorder. That means now they label learning disability as a general term. इसमें बहुत कुछ आ सकता है. Okay, heterogeneous group of disorders मतलब काफ़ी सारे mixture of disorders it can include. Okay. And it is manifested by significant difficulties. That means ये बच्चों में काफ़ी significant होना चाहिए disorder or difficulties when it comes to listening, speaking, reading, writing, reasoning or mathematical abilities. These disorders are intrinsic. Now नेशनल जॉइंट कमेटी मेंशन कि ये डिसऑर्डर इंट्रिंसिक है. इंट्रिंसिक मतलब इनबिल्ट है बच्चे में ऑलरेडी. व्हेन द बच्चा इज बॉर्न, व्हेन ही इज बॉर्न, दिस disorders are already there. Okay, these disorders are intrinsic to the individual, perceived to be due to central nervous dysfunction. Yes, these disorders are caused because your brain is not working properly and may occur across the lifespan. मतलब this will stay with you for your whole life, maybe, or if you get a good remedial, maybe to certain extent it can be rectified also. Now this definition of NJCLD was quite recommended and quite popular. It had a lot of advantages when compared to the Federal Register. Why? There are 3 reasons for that. The first reason is it deleted the term बेसिक साइकोलॉजिकल प्रोसेस. ये सुनने में डेफिनेशन में अच्छा नहीं लगता है. सो NJCLD deleted this term and instead of that it claimed that learning disability is intrinsic and it is caused due to central nervous dysfunction. Second reason is that this definition became very popular. इस डेफिनेशन में इल डिफाइंड टर्म्स कुछ भी नहीं है, लाइक मिनिमल ब्रेन डिस्फंक्शन, ब्रेन डैमेज, मेंटल रिटार्डेशन, इमोशनल डिस्टर्बेंस, ऐसे सब टर्म्स इस डेफिनेशन में नहीं है. बिकॉज व्हाट हैपेंस इफ यू इंक्लूड सच काइंड ऑफ टर्म्स इन डेफिनेशन, इट क्रिएट्स लॉट ऑफ कंट्रोवर्सी. पेरेंट्स डू नॉट एक्सेप्ट इट इमीडिएटली. So NJCLD definition did not have these terms. And the third is that it clarified that learning disability जो है it is associated with certain kind of other difficulties or other handicaps like sensory handicaps or some other handicap. Okay, and correct diagnosis only will determine whether learning difficulty is in primary or a secondary condition. So this definition was recommended by most of the curriculum and syllabus. Okay. So simple, if I have to tell you what is learning disability in my terms, okay, if I want you to make you understand what is learning difficulty, then in simple way, learning difficulty can be defined as neuropsychological disorder related to brain definitely that affects the brain's ability to process, retain and reuse information. That means, okay, अभी जो LD बच्चों का brain है उसका कंडीशन कैसा होता है? इन द ब्रेन देयर इज लिटिल फॉल्ट वायरिंग. ओके, देयर इज अ फॉल्टी वायरिंग. बिकॉज ऑफ दैट द चाइल्ड और द ब्रेन इज अनेबल टू प्रोसेस whatever I am saying. The brain is unable to process, retain it, memorize it and then give the output. Okay, it cannot do all these things together. अभी अगर इसका एक सिंपल एग्जाम्पल इफ यू वांट आई कैन टेल यू. सपोज नाउ वी हैव टू बेक अ केक. अगर इफ आई एम अ नॉर्मल person and I want to bake a cake, so what is the first thing I would need? I need to know the ingredients, how to bake a cake. Okay, so from where I will get all these ingredients? I will either watch it somewhere, I will either read it or I will either hear it from somewhere. Okay, so what my brain is doing, my brain is inputting the message or inputting the information that what are the ingredients needed. So the first phase is input phase. Now second is procedure. Now okay, I know how to do how to bake a cake. There are certain steps: step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. First you have to beat the egg, add the flour, add the baking soda, everything. So with the ingredients and with the procedure, my brain is going to integrate the complete procedure. Okay, now I know the ingredients, I know the procedure, my brain also knows it. Okay, my brain has already put inside all that information कि ये ingredients है, ये procedure है. Now what it is going to do? It is going to store this information. So my brain is going to memorize it कि जब ये केक बेक करना हो तो ये ingredients लगेगा और ऐसा procedures है करके. And finally when I have to make a cake, okay, what I'm going to do? I'm going to use my memory. Okay, whatever is stored, whatever the information stored, I'm going to use it and I'm going to give the output back. So accordingly, I will bake my cake. Okay. Now if it is a normal person like me, when I try first time, definitely the cake would turn out to be very good, correct? But in case of a child with learning disability, because there is some dysfunction in the brain, that okay, and the process of information, okay, unfortunately in case of a children with learning disability, since there is some dysfunction in the brain, okay, the child is or the brain is not able to process the information completely. Okay, they may be not able to understand the input or memorize it, and therefore fails to get the output or the whatever the result is required. Okay, for them either it will be a problem in the input phase or can be a problem in the memorization phase also, and so the resulting output is not as expected. It's a big challenge for them. Okay, so ultimately I hope whatever I have told or whatever definitions we have gone through, if we summarize them, okay, this is what is learning disability. The term learning disability is used to describe a specific group of children, adolescents and adults who have problem in learning. These problems are generally in the areas of reading, writing, spellings and mathematics. Parents and teachers usually discover the problem when the child fails to cope up with schoolwork. Teacher may notice a great difference between the child's oral performance, which is usually very good, than the written work. So the child only faces difficulty or challenge when it comes to writing part, reading part, spelling part, thinking part, analytical reasoning part. Maybe the child can express orally very well. Okay, so that can also be a part of learning. Any one of the categories that the child is with, the child falls under the category of learning disability. Now moving on to various types of learning difficulties or learning disabilities. To be diagnosed as learning, to be diagnose. Sorry. To diagnose. I'll use better. Okay, to understand whether the child falls under the learning category, okay, the child's condition must meet specific criteria. The first learning difficulty we speak about is dyslexia. Okay, dyslexia is a reading and language based learning disability. With this, the child may not understand letters, group of letters, sentences or paragraph. Example, see, you will understand better here. Okay, suppose now if I take a grade 1 child, for a grade 1 child, writing the letters in the reverse form, it's fine for him. Okay, him or her. Okay, in grade 1 the child is still learning to write letters properly. but eventually this problem should disappear. Okay, later on when the child goes in second grade, third grade, fourth grade, the letter reversals should not be visible. But for a child with dyslexia, this is a pattern. Okay, the child may have letter reversals, like the child may get confused between P and Q. Okay, or the child may get confused between the letters like B and D, M and W. Okay, or if the child also can have a difficulty understanding some numbers like 6 and 9. Okay, or the child can have some reversals with words, okay, like was and saw, on and no. Okay, the child can write the letters in reversal forms like here. Okay, these are mirror images, like 5 can be written as this, 7 can be written as this. Okay, for some children, okay, the words, the letters or the sentences, it appears to be hovering, dancing in the brain, and there is no issue or no that's not a vision problem. Rather, that problem is because the brain is not able to interpret what the information it sees. Okay, the brain of that child is not able to understand. अगर अब मैं ये बच्चे को दिखाऊंगी कि ये P है, तो my brain registers it as P and then I write it as P. बट एक लर्निंग डिफिकल्टी वाले बच्चे के ब्रेन को समझता ही नहीं है, वो देखता है दैट इज P, बट फॉर हिम टू अंडरस्टैंड कि ये P है, वो रजिस्ट्रेशन होता नहीं है ब्रेन में. So it's a challenge, or it's quite a huge task for them to understand and write it as P. Okay, and so next difficulty is dysgraphia. Dysgraphia is a term for problems with writing. Child may not form letters correctly. Writing neatly takes time and effort. Yet despite the effort, the handwriting still may be hard to read. The students may not be able to finish written tests or assignments on time. Written tasks are always late or incomplete. So I'll show you some examples of children, how they children with dysgraphia, how they write. If you see this, okay, the child has written that we something got home. She went to room. R is not written. Okay, she got out instead of OUT. The child has written OWT. Her pencil spelling is wrong, and paper and sat at her desk. Sat also the spelling is wrong. If you see in this, you will be able to see that as you see in C, the word or both the E's are written in the reversal format. So this is how the handwriting appears for the dysgraphic child. Okay. So the next difficulty is dyscalculia. Dyscalculia is a term for problems concerning math. A child may do well in language but fails in tests involving fractions and percentage. Maths is mostly difficult for many students, but those with dyscalculia may have more difficulty than compared to others of their age. Okay, it may prevent the child from solving basic math problem like addition of 1 digit or 2 digits. Suppose in grade 2, the child needs to know how to add 2-digit number. But a child who is having dyscalculia may struggle with addition of 1-digit number itself, or finger addition. The child faces a lot of challenges in doing so. Okay, other challenges the children can face is the child may get confused with symbols, addition, subtraction, multiplication. Basically, most often it is found that the child gets confused with addition and multiplication symbol. So instead of multiplying, the child adds and the calculation goes for a toss. Grouping of objects is a big challenge for them. It's like a very difficult task for them. Concepts of how many, difficult to understand. Sequencing and ordering. And for children of greater age, the children of higher age like grade 5 and grade 6, place value is a difficult chapter, a difficult concept to understand. The next type of learning difficulty or disability is dyspraxia. It is basically body coordination. The child is not able to balance or coordinate his body. Okay, dyspraxia is a developmental coordination disorder. It's a condition affecting physical coordination. It causes a child to perform less well than expected in daily activities for their age and appear to move clumsily. Developmental coordination disorder may occur alone or with other developmental disorders such as attention deficient hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, what we call, it usually continues into adulthood. Now, the children with dyslexia, they are not able to balance their body properly. They are not able to coordinate properly with the body. For example, if we tell them to walk in a straight line, they are not able to do it. Okay, if we tell them to balance on certain beam or balance a book on the head, it becomes very difficult for them. Crossing the midline, okay, like cross crawls if they do, it's a big challenge for them. Okay, so these are all the challenges that they face. Okay, the children with dyslexia, they get easily distracted. The simple task can also be very difficult for them. They struggle in that. Derailed mid-task. Derailed mid-task means the in between. If we give them a task, okay, the task in between when they are doing it, it goes for a toss. They do not reach the end target. Repeat preferred activities over and over. Whichever activity is comfortable for them, they want to do that activities again and again. Transition period is very tough for them. Difficulty learning new skills, difficulty with sequencing and organization. They are little clumsy, they cannot keep themselves neat and tidy. A day-to-day activity like putting toothpaste on a brush is a challenge for them. Holding a cup and carrying it is a challenge for them. Unbuttoning of buttons of shirts, okay, tying of shoelaces, this is a big challenge for them. Struggles to follow directions, very difficult. Okay, they often get confused between right and left, up and down. Yeah, it's confusing for them. Okay, or crossing of opposite hands and legs. Poor short-term memory, takes longer to complete task. Of course, they take a lot of time to complete the task. Now next, okay, all these learning difficulties are categorized into mainly 4 categories. The first category is visual perception. Okay, the example of that can be dyslexia or dyscalculia, and many more can be given as an example of visual perception. Now, what do you mean by disorder or difficulty in visual perception? That does not mean that the child has problem with vision or the child is not able to see through his eye, but this difficulty or this complication arises because the brain is unable to process the information that the child sees. Okay, the brain is unable to understand the information what the child is able to see. So for this child, what are the challenges? The child writes reversal letters. Okay, even recognizing same letter, okay, is very difficult for them. Frequent reversals, omissions and careless errors in writing letters and numbers are very common problem for this child. The next is language processing. Examples are dyslexia and dysgraphia. Now students with language processing difficulty, okay, they are not able to understand the language itself first. Okay, either it can be expressive language or receptive language. That means the student is not even the student, and like if I say I am a girl, the student is able to understand it in the receptive language is going. Okay, but if the child wants to say that I am a girl, he is not able to say that. That becomes a challenge for them. So this is called as expressive language disorder. He is not able to express it. Okay, and the other is receptive, like I am a girl. This sentence only is not, that child is not able to receive it. Okay, the brain of the child does not receive this. So these 2 disorders, receptive language disorder and expressive language disorders, form under the category of language processing. Now, what are the problems the child faces? The child is not able to read. The child is not able to understand the phonetics of the letter, and its reading comprehension is a big challenge for the child. The child is not able to comprehend because the child does not understand only what he is reading. And since the child is not understanding what he is reading, the child develops into a slow reader. Okay, the next is fine motor skills. Examples are dysgraphia, dyslexia, dyscalculia. Now fine motor skills, okay, the small muscles of hands and legs, okay, these muscles are weak. Okay, so the fine motor skill disorder involves when these muscles are involved in any activity. If these muscles are weak, we find that the child is having a difficulty or a disability in fine motor skills. Okay, suppose the muscles of hand are weak, what will be the problem? The child will not be able to hold the pencil or crayon properly. Because of that, the child will not be able to write, the child will not be able to erase, the child will not be able to color. Okay, all this difficulties the child face. Then because the muscles are weak, the child may not be able to catch a ball or pick up a coin. Okay, all this also problems are associated with fine motor skills difficulty. Then zipping, unzipping of chain, or buttoning, unbuttoning of shirt buttons. Okay, this becomes a challenge for them. Tying of shoelaces also becomes a challenge for them. And the last one is attention difficulty, dyslexia or ADHD. Now attention, it's very clear and very literal what if the child is having a difficulty in attention. The child is not able to focus and the child gets easily distracted by a very slight sound, or by seeing any certain color, or by seeing people. If someone enters or someone exits, the child immediately gets distracted. The child is not able to focus, and because there is a lack of focus and concentration, the learning process goes for a toss. So I hope that at least you have understood what are the different types of learning disability, and from where this term learning disability or learning difficulty emerged and evolved. Okay, so before ending my session, I would like you to analyze this case studies. There are two case studies. The first one is this one. Let's read out first this and understand, and then analyze under what category or under what learning difficulty that we can categorize a child. So Arya is a grade 1 student. She is friendly and enthusiastic. Her class teacher reports that her grasping power is weak and she faces academic issues often. She usually gets confused during circle time, as she tends to get confused with instruction, especially directional instruction. She often gets confused in M and W and makes frequent letter reversals while writing. So Arya will fall under which category of learning disability? So let's analyze it. The first thing is her grasping power is weak. Why? Because she gets confused during the circle time and she tends to get confused with instruction. She is not able to understand the given instructions, okay? Especially the directional instruction, go left, go right. So definitely it is dyspraxia, okay? It can be visual perception, because when you have a visual perception difficulty, the child is not able to understand and retain the information. Like suppose the child has a learning difficulty in understanding the distance and depth, and the child gets bumping into other things. Okay, such kind of children talk to you straight into your face because they are not able to judge the peripheral vision. So maybe first is we categorize her under dyspraxia. We can also categorize her under visual perception difficulty. She gets confused in M and W, dyslexia or language processing. That's it, and reversal also falls under the same category. So we got three categories: visual perception, dyspraxia and dyslexia. Okay, now let's go to case 2. Aditya is 10-year-old boy. He is in 5th standard. He is active and energetic child. He seems to be clumsy in class and doesn't follow instructions by teacher. Refuses to write and makes silly mistakes. Takes longer time while writing from the board. His handwriting is cramped and illegible. He often bumps into things and has poor throwing skills during PT activities. Now let's analyze it. So the first thing is, the good thing is he is active and energetic child. He seems to be clumsy in class and doesn't follow instructions by teacher. So he is not able to understand the instructions given by the teacher. Visual perception, refuses to write, makes silly mistakes, takes longer time while writing from the board. Dysgraphia, his handwriting is cramped and illegible. Again dysgraphia, he often bumps into things. Okay, visual perception, has poor throw skills. Now has poor throw skills, either it can be because of fine motor skills or because of lack of body coordination. So it can be dyspraxia as well as fine motor skills disorder. So he can be categorized into, the first thing we did was following. Okay, he is not able to visual perception, First is visual perception, second is dysgraphia, third is fine motor skills or dyspraxia. Okay. So I hope whatever I have gone through this session, at least some knowledge or some information you must have gained what is learning disability and different types of learning disability, and maybe this can help you understand the children better. So if you have any queries, please don't hesitate to drop any questions in the comment box. And thank you for now, and stay tuned for my next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Thank you.